Hey everyone, this is Prince Watercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Tougi King Colossus! In the last episode, we went to Griev's Tower and saved Fam, Yelnats' daughter, from the evil High Priest of the Grieve worshippers. And now we need to go out of Mook's cabin, or at least the general area, pin up the upper left corner of this part of the continent that we're on, and go to the Forest of Bewilderment. Very easy to get lost here. We will be facing enemies we've seen before, as well as a few new ones. And you definitely want to face off and fight off any enemies that you see, because you never know when any of the enemies that you meet might drop a bomb. Such as the ones that we see here when we go up instead of right at the start of the maze. Because these guys will drop a bomb. Well, one of them will. Also, we do have to fight these guys again. Just like last time in Yelnats' place. You strike them once, then you hit them again before they can fully sprout back up. At this point in the game, the enemies should be pretty easy to deal with, especially now that you have the Haken, which is a lot easier to use in the metal ball. And now we have this path here. You want to follow the path. If you go left, you'll take a one-way trip to a room you've already been to, and you would have to backtrack all the way here. You definitely want to follow the path all the way to the right, and then up, and then to the left. Also, I got hit by the webs a lot more often. Also, I found 2 bombs. Awesome. And you don't want to go up here because that leads to a dead end. Rather, a series of rooms that leads nowhere. Don't go up here either. Instead, you want to go left and break the debris that is blocking that door there. And a new enemy here, these little werewolf-like guys that toss rocks. Wait for them to stop moving around and let them throw their rock, and then go in for the kill. Also want to go left here because I'm pretty sure that there will be a bomb here somewhere. Yes, there is. And of course we got a level too. I level up here quite a few times because, well, you'll see. And you don't have to go into this room if you want. I guess you could go in here if you needed the health, but kinda didn't really sorta need it. But it's there. Sadly, there are no bombs in that room. And from here, this room, we need to go up. And after taking on all these monsters, we need to go up again. And you can kind of see how annoying the purple flower enemies are sometimes. Because sometimes they'll land in a place where it's hard to get to them as quickly as possible. Now that we went up and used the bomb to get rid of that blockade, we will talk to these guards. And I'm guessing the only reason why they know who we are is probably because Mook told us, or them about us. I don't know. That's the only thing I could possibly think of. Well, they let you pass after they see the crest on your hand, even though they're amazed at how young you are. And they tell you about the holes. We will have to fall in one of the holes in order to find some items, as well as some more monsters to fight off, which are these little slimes that we've met in the southeast cave. Sadly, we're not level 1 anymore, though. These things are no threat to us. But we do want to go up this path. We do want to go a little bit north of where we were, and then go to the left here to find this steel treasure chest, this little gray one. Inside is the silver lance, and you definitely want to equip it, even though it's not a flail weapon, because it is more powerful than the Haken. Haken will definitely still come in useful, and thankfully you can't get rid of weapons, so don't worry about losing the weapons or selling them because, you know, money isn't the concept in this game. Also like Lagoon. Yeah, I'm going to be making Lagoon references and comparisons through this Let's Play. I can just see it. And now we just backtrack to where we fell, and from here we go left, and then go as far down as we can go. That chest contains a medical herb, in case you need one. I never grab it or use it. but it's there if you need it. And you have to kind of position yourself like carefully in order to walk up to the vine and climb up it. It's really weird. And if you take that lower right entrance, you end up right here. I keep finding all these enemies again over and over and over whenever they respawn because, well, I can. And because I definitely need the experience. There's 3 different exits. I'm going to show them all off every time I go into the little underground maze, which is really easy to accidentally fall into. Now notice that we fell into a hole that was like close to that wall. When we return to that area, it won't be there. Now, if this was like Chrono Trigger, that one part of Magus's castle where we had to deal with Ozzy turning that little crank when we stood on a specific spot in the room, and then when we came back to it, that hole was still there. If it was like that, I wouldn't have a problem with this. But they don't do that. The game expects you to figure out where these holes are from memory, and game, why did you do that? And you don't have to jump to climb up the vine, you just have to move into them, and our character will automatically do the rest. As I was saying, if the game at least kept the holes, or at least the location of the holes revealed after you fell into one, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I was able to just luck at and get through this part very easily the first time I played it, but when I did it for the Let's Play, this took like 30 to 40 minutes because of all the times that I fell into a hole. Also, if you reach this end, there are still holes that you have to worry about, but there is also a special little hallway that you can go through. And you can climb up the vine. You still go into this same room, but when you come out of it, you end up here. You end up in a completely different room. This is like the second entrance that of such that I've found out of 3. And I'll show off the third one. But I'm keeping all this stuff in because it just shows how easy it is to fall through a hole even when you feel like you've got this part down pat. And I wish the game made the whole part a little easier. And yeah, that was the set of rooms that went nowhere in that path where I told you straight up follow the path right up left. Yeah, that's where you end up if you fall so close to the end of that little part of the maze. So now we're gonna have to do all this over again. But at least I'm getting used to finding the enemies here, and I'm now up to level 10. We're finally the double digits. Awesome. I mean, I don't have to fight these monsters. I don't have to do this if I don't want to. But I want to get as strong as I can. And I fall into another hole without even trying. It's so easy to fall in these holes because the game never keeps where the locations of the holes are revealed. Now, instead of going up here like we did to get the Steel Lance, we go all the way to the right, and we go all the way up. There is a third exit out of here that takes us to a certain third part out of all the places that we can end up when we leave the maze. And it's right here with the rock guy and the 3 bugs. Thankfully, this takes us close to where the lower right exit would have taken us, so thankfully, backtracking with that one isn't so much of a pain. But still, I wish the game could have handled this in a way that made it just a slightly bit easier. I mean, Chrono Trigger did that better than than this game did, and that's saying something. I mean, this isn't a perfect game, but come on, they could have made this a tad easier. Anyway, I'm gonna see you when I get to the end. Be right back. That took forever. Also, I leveled up twice because this took about 20 minutes. 20 to 30 minutes, but we're here now. We're going up into that door, and we're fighting a new enemy, which is these frogs that pop around and try to attack us with their tongues. Thank you for very slow. We have the Silver Lance and its increased range and attack power, so we might as well use that against them. And we might as well go ahead and go up first. Fight off some more enemies, why not? That chest contains a medical herb if you need it. Thankfully, I had the map, so I had to remember not to touch the chest until I needed it. Thankfully, I did a little better here in the maze than I thought I would. And now it's time to return to where we first met the frogs and go up. One of these enemies, I believe, has a bomb. And it's gotta be one of these frogs, obviously. And we do get a full health refill, so we might as well go ahead and take that. And there are the bombs. Now, sadly, you have to take a one-way path. Up, then left, and then down, and then return to the room where we came in there from, but that's alright. At least I fought more monsters. I didn't have to go left and then up to this room at first, but again, I wanted to fight the enemies and get stronger. I believe I do level up here one more time, so that's pretty good for me, I guess. And now that we're done with that set of rooms to the up and the north and to the left, to the up, we can go right, and now we have a huge path that we can follow. And of course, we're going to have to fight all these bugs in order to get some bombs, as well as any other power-ups we can run into. Also, if we go over here, we can find another great chest. And inside is a copper shield. We finally have our first shield of the game. And we need to equip it. So go to equip our weapon, equip our armor. We finally have a shield, so let's go ahead and equip that. And then select our spell. I'm going to use time stop because why not? So now that we got that out of the way, we finally have full armor for the first time in the game. And we're going up here. You don't have to do this part, I think, what I'm about to do here, but I'm going to show it off anyway in case you ever need it. If you go right here, you'll take on another bug and another frog. And then if you go down and follow the path, you'll meet this guy. This guy is a healer, and if you talk to him while you're at less than full HP and full MP, he will heal you. Pretty much like the girl in Mook's cabin. I mean, you don't have to hunt this guy down, but he's there if you need him. And now we found the healer for all of you to witness. Let's go ahead and finally go up. I can't believe I took some dumb damage there. And let's go ahead and take care of some more animals that want us dead. Might as well go ahead and take the health pickup, why not? And we do run into a dead end. But I do go in here anyway just for more enemies, so if you want to take this path, why not? And we are now finally at level 13. So you don't have to go right unless you need a healer. You don't need to go up unless you want to fight some more enemies. Left is where you want to go. And we get 2 more enemies to fight off. And I believe that if you go left, you fight even more enemies. You also do get some more bombs. So I take the time to do that and see what there is to see. And thankfully going left does take you to this guy, but we're not going to talk to him just yet. Instead, I'm just going to take this loop here and fight some more enemies because I can. Last chance for health pickups. And we're pretty much at that dead end that we would have went to if we went up. At this point. So now we're just gonna go left and we're gonna go back to that guard. After, of course, fighting some more frogs. Thankfully, we're pretty much at the end, so we don't really have to worry about much else. And now that we've taken care of all we need to take care of, we can finally talk to this guy. He'll tell you that Gomunis is right behind this door. And this guy's just like Mook, saying that this is our destiny. And he also says that Gomunis smashes people with rocks. And it also appears that Gomunis has woken up. This guy gets out of your way, and once you go through this door, you'll be facing Gomunis. Despite his size, compared to all the other bosses we fought so far, he's not all that difficult. He moves around in these little sine wave-like patterns. These little wave-like patterns. And when he throws rocks at you, they seem to home in on your current position after the first bounce. So as you avoid those, you want to hit this guy from the side. If you attack him from in front of him or from behind, he will rush at you like that and you will take damage. But if you attack him from the side, he will leave you alone a little bit. You need not attack him in order to get him to do that charge move. All you have to do is just be right in front of him. Just be right in his path, either in front of or behind him, and he'll charge at you. But as long as you stay to the side and also stay away from him, Gomunis won't be much of a threat. You also have a lot of room to work with, as you can see here. So just be ready to move as you strike him. And when you leave this area after beating Gomunis, you'll meet this guy. This is King Carleen, ruler of the kingdom of Danal. And he is apparently very impressed with your performance against Gomunis. And he's acting like this is some sort of test or something. And he mentions the old man, he mentions Mook. No wonder those guards knew who we were. And now he makes you a gladiator in his arena. And then he leaves. You'll automatically head back to Mook's cabin. And from there on, you enter the cabin and talk to Mook. Don't worry about healing, you'll be at full HP and MP when you return here. And once you tell Mook that you've beaten Gomunus, he'll ask if you met King Carleen. And then he'll tell you that the battle with Gomunus was a demonstration of your abilities. And it was his plan to make you Lord Carleen's slave. I knew I couldn't stand that old man. That symbol is the crest of a gladiator, that symbol on the main character's hand. And those who bear the mark must continue to risk their lives for the sake of their master. In other words, you have to fight in a Colosseum until you die. This is a pretty screwed up story. And you have no choice but to do this because King Carleen and his guards, or well, just King Carleen's guards at this rate, they basically force you to go to the Colosseum with them. And of course they pay Mook off! Awesome! And of course the girl is upset. Why wouldn't she be? I mean, she does care for the main character after all. We also find out from this part of the conversation that her name is Flora. I may or may not have mentioned that in an earlier part, but in case I didn't, well, there it is. And why Mook is speaking with Flora's text color, I have no idea. But he does, and this is what he's saying. He's basically saying that we will come out of this stronger and wiser than we are now when we return to this part of the world. So now we're at Layered Colosseum, which we couldn't enter originally up until now at least, now that we're a gladiator. And we're pretty much stuck here for the time being. This is the main entrance, but we're not going through that. We're going in through the back gate, and we don't have a choice. And of course this is the entrance to the living quarters where we get booted into the Colosseum from. Also, these are not some very nice guards, I can tell you that right now. Oh, and they tell us not to get mud on King Kareem. Or his face specifically. So you can already tell right there that King Carleen and his guards are a bunch of jerks. But we are now in the Layered Colosseum against our will. And we'll be taking that on in the next episode. So until then, this is Prince Watercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!